Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. And what I want to do in this video here is go over some of the draft busts that the Giants have had over the course of their history. I want to go over 2 times where pretty much there were back-to-back picks that we had were pretty much busts, and then I want to do to wrap this video up with the grand finale with a super spectacular pick 6. Yeah, 6 picks in a row that were just unbelievably horrible. But just a little history first. The Giants can't really say, all right, that their history of picking players in the first round have produced super spectacular results. In their history, picking players in the first round, we've only drafted 3 Hall of Famers. Now, we've been around for a while. All right, we've been a lot of drafts, everyone since all the way back to the beginning. And in the first round, we've only drafted 3 Hall of Famers. All right, one was George Conner, 1946. He was a tackle from Notre Dame. The second one was 1952. We drafted Frank Gifford from USC. And then the third one was some guy, 1981, from North Carolina, like Lawrence Taylor, somebody like that. I don't remember. Something like that. But apparently he was a Hall of Famer too. But we picked 3 Hall of Famers in the first round. 2 times we've had the number 1 overall pick. 1950, we picked Kyle Rote, an end from SMU. He was a phenomenal player for us and a phenomenal player in college. 1965, we picked Tucker Frederickson, running back from Auburn. Very good running back in college. Not so good running back for us in the pros, mainly because he got injured. You know, his knees, he got injured. He played from 65 to 71. After 71, he retired. A lot of guys got injured back then. I mean, just the way it is, especially if you're a running back. The only things with him in 1965, the thing just kind of ticks you off is we picked him number 1. Well, in the 3rd pick, the Bears picked Dick Butkus. And in the 4th pick, the Bears had back-to-back picks. The Bears picked Gale Sayers, and we got Tucker Frederickson. We could have used Dick Butkus. Our defense was horrible, and we certainly could have used Gale Sayers, but we took Tucker Frederickson. Some of our problems, like after the 63 season, we were in a championship game, but from 64 to 80, we were horrible. We had 2 winning seasons. Some of that, or majority of that, okay, was because we either didn't have picks in the first round, or the guys we did pick weren't very good. Like from 1954 to 1975, there was 22 drafts, 54 to 75. 9 of those 22 times, we didn't have a first-round pick. Kind of tough to build your team, you know. After the 63 season, we were old. 64, we had a lot of guys. After 64, a lot of guys retired, and we just didn't have good quality guys coming in because we kept trading away our picks. And the guys, you know, a lot of guys we picked in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever round just weren't doing it. So we a long time without going to the playoffs. 65, we had Tucker Frederickson. 1966, we traded to some guy, Francis P. He played for us for 2 years. 67, 68, we didn't have a first-round pick because actually, 67, 68, our first and 2nd round, both those years, we traded to the Vikings for Fran Tarkenton. So we didn't have any picks 67, 68. 69, we had Fred Dreyer, very good player. He only played for us for 3 years. 1970, we had Jim Files, very good linebacker, middle linebacker, got him from Oklahoma. He only played 4 years and then became a priest. He played from 70 to 73. 1971, we took Rocky Thompson. 1970, he was horrible. He played 2 years for us. 1972, we got Eldridge Small and Larry Jacobson. Larry Jacobson was constantly injured. He played 3 years. Eldridge Small played 3 years too, and then he never played again. 1973, we didn't have a first-round draft choice because we traded it to the Browns to get Jack Gregory. 1974, we had John Hicks, a fantastic offensive lineman from Ohio State. But he only played 4 seasons for us. He hurt his leg. He got traded to the Steelers, never played again. 1975, we didn't have a first round because we traded to the Cowboys to get Craig Morton, and he only played 3 seasons for us. Finally, in 1976, we drafted Troy Archer, an absolute stud of a defensive tackle from Colorado. He only played 2 seasons for us because before the 78 season started, sadly, he crashed his truck and he died. So the period of time that we were just trading away our picks, not getting quality picks. So that's why from 64 to 80, we were absolutely horrible. But things started changing a little bit, all right? So from 1976, all right, to 2020, it was 45 drafts. Out of those 45 drafts, there was only 2 times where we didn't have the number 1 pick, our first round pick. One of them was after the Eli Manning. We traded away in 2005 to the Chargers, and we got Eli Manning, So that's not bad. The other one was in the early 90s, and I'll go over that in a minute. But our back-to-back picks, 71 and 72, absolutely. We took Rocky Thompson, 1971. Absolutely, he wasn't a football player. He was from West Texas State. He was a speedster. He was a track star. He ran a 10.1 100-meter dash. He was fast. He wasn't a football player. He played with us basically for 2 years. His 3rd year, he injured his neck. He really didn't play for us in his 3rd year, and that was it. He went to the WFL for 2 years, and he never played again. He scored a kickoff return. In 1971, he scored a kickoff return against the Cardinals, which helped us win the game. 1972, he returned a kickoff against the Lions in the first game of the season. Other than that, he had 1 rushing touchdown. I mean, he averaged like 3 yards a carry. He had 68 rushes in a little over 200 yards. He was horrible. He fumbled the ball in 2 years. He fumbled the ball 8 times. Absolutely horrible. He played 2 years for us, and he was pretty much out of football. What a waste of a pick. 1972, we took Eldridge Small from Texas A&I. He played 3 years for us. He had 1 interception. He played 3 years. He was out of football. I mean, horrible pick. We had 2 picks in 72. We had Larry Jacobson, too, the Outland Trophy winner from Nebraska. Very good defensive lineman. But unfortunately for him, he had some injury problems. He only played 3 years. And before the 75 season started, he failed his physical and he was off the team, and he was out of football. So he only played 3 years for us. So the 71 and 72, Rocky Thompson and Eldridge Small. Absolutely. I mean, Larry Jacobson was good. But our first pick in 71, Rocky Thompson and Eldridge Small. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely total garbage. Total waste of picks. Then we go to Jerry Reese's back-to-back, right? How can we forget? 2015, 2016. Got Eric Flowers with the number 9 pick overall. I mean, he's still in the league. He just got traded back to Washington. He was with the Giants, then he went to Jacksonville, then he went to Washington, then he went to Miami. Miami just traded him back to Washington. So he's still in football. But, barely serviceable, if you want to call him that. The number 9 overall pick, you've got to be absolutely kidding me. I can't believe it. The only thing good that came out of that draft was in the 2nd round we got Landon Collins, who's obviously not with us anymore, but great pick in the 2nd round. Eric Flowers, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my God. See, this is where the problems start. We shouldn't have to have drafted a tackle last year, right? Because we should have Eric Flowers in there, right? Then it goes to 2016. We shouldn't have to have James Bradbury and Adoree Jackson. Why? Because we should have Eli Apple and DeAndre Baker. Those should be our cornerbacks. So in 2016, with the 10th pick, we took, right, Eli Apple. The only thing good came out of that draft is in the 2nd round we got Sterling Shepard, right? Isn't it amazing how the 2nd round pick winds up being like 300 times better than the 1st round pick? How does that happen? I mean, Eli, horrible, absolutely horrible. back-to-back picks. And it's amazing. It just sets you back. Absolutely amazing. But then that's not like the worst of it all. The absolute worst is there was the pick six. From 1991 to 1996, the pick six, I'm going to call them. Absolutely horrible. We picked 1991, we picked Jared Bunch, a fullback in the first round from Michigan. A fullback. 1992, we took Derek Brown, a tight end from Notre Dame. Absolutely horrible. 3 years with the Giants, he caught 11 balls. And we finally got rid of him. I think he caught a little over 40 balls in his career, but 3 years with the Giants, he caught 11 balls. 1992, in the supplemental draft, we got Dave Brown, a quarterback from Duke. Sound familiar? So to get him, we had to give up our number one pick in the 93 draft. That's why in 1993 we didn't have a first-round pick, because we got Dave Brown. But Dave Brown, he was not very good. He completed a little over 50% of his passes the time he was with us. He was in the league for about 8 or 9 years, maybe 10 years, but he wasn't with us very long. He threw 44 interceptions. 44 touchdowns and 58 interceptions in his career. Not a very good. I mean, that was a bust. That was really, really bad. Then, of course, 1994, right? How could we forget? Thomas Lewis, a receiver from Indiana. He played 4 years and he was out of football. One of the years, he had over 50 receptions, but the other 3 years, he did absolutely nothing. He was 4 years in the league, our number one pick in the draft, 1994, 4 years out of the league. Unbelievable. Then in 1995, we picked Tyrone Wheatley. It's amazing. From 82 to 95, in that time period, we picked 3 running backs from the University of Michigan. We got 82, we got Butch Folk. Then we got Jared Bunch, and then we got Tyrone Wheatley. Well, Tyrone Wheatley had a lengthy career, but it wasn't very good with us. I think he was only with us like 4 years or so. Then he was gone. Then we had the Pierce de Resistance, the absolute worst of the worst. Cedric Jones from the defensive end from the University of Oklahoma. His last game he played in the NFL was the Super Bowl, in which we lost 712,000-7 against the Ravens. That was his last game. So we went 96 to 2000 with us. 2001 he went to the Rams. I think he got injured and he never played ever again. But he was absolutely horrible. We picked him with the number 5 pick overall. Absolutely horrible. I remember specifically people had like a 3rd round grade on that guy. 2nd, 3rd. We picked him with the number 5 pick overall. And you know who was on the board? Marvin Harrison. Some guy, Ray Lewis, a linebacker, some guy, Hall of Famer. Marvin Harrison, Hall of Famer. Terrell Owens, Hall of Famer. Brian Dawkins, Hall of Famer. They're all on the board. We took a reach. I mean, the reaches of the reach on Cedric Jones. Absolute total garbage. And with those 6 first-round picks in a row from 91, 96, it's amazing that somehow we made it to the Super Bowl after the 2000 season. Simply amazing. Well, that's just a little history of the Giants and their first-round selections and some of the absolute garbage, worst of the worst, first-round picks that the Giants have had in their long and storied history. Well, guys, tonight it's the draft. It's about 12 hours away. Let's hope and pray that the Giants get a fantastic draft pick tonight at number 11. Let's hope he's a Hall of Famer, and let's hope he's with the Giants for a long, long time. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants! Woo!